Hey guys. Okay, this is after I got attacked last night. Almost gave me a heart attack. I had an afternoon nap and got attacked again, but this time in a dream. So I was having the dream when I got attacked, and I still don't know what the hell happened in the first dream. They ain't talking. Christ ain't talking, and no one in my family's talking. So here's what happened this afternoon. I'm at the store and I'm going to walk down Park Ave Street in Chatham, where I live, where I used to live as a kid. And I'll just tell you the dream. So I started walking, and they're doing construction a block away. There's a big hole in the ground. That means something symbolic in the dream. And I have to go around the construction, which is all the way on the other side of the road. There's no cars, so that's what I was going to do. And as I'm walking, there's dust on the other side of the construction, like construction dust, which was what I thought it was. All of a sudden, this huge spider comes walking out of the dust. It's huge, on the size of a building. And I'm like, oh fuck, here we go again. I'm looking at it, and all of a sudden I start back, and as it's walking, it stops, and it's looking, trying to get around the construction hole. It's a big hole. And there's workers and cranes and dump trucks and guys yelling. Anyway, I start backing up. It's like, okay, I gotta hide somewhere. Let this thing go by me, right? Let the spider walk by and just scoot on home. I haven't gone by the construction yet, so the spider starts walking through the construction in the hole, and I run over to some bushes. I'm thinking, okay, I gotta hide by some bushes, and but I don't hide. It's like I'm just standing there acting like I don't see it. I then it's still coming right at me. It sort of like moves and starts coming at me. So I'm like, I gotta move over more. So I start to walk down the side street a little bit, and it turns and starts walking down the side street towards me. And then I know it's on, right? So I'm standing there, and it walks right over me. Walks right over. It's totally black, shiny black exoskeleton thing, and it walks right over me. And then it stops and it starts poking, and as soon as it touches me, I start fighting it. So I don't know, it's like its pincher things came down and touched my head and was checking me out. It was checking me out. But as soon as its pinchers touched my head, I lost it. Bam! I started punching it and kicking it. And I'm thinking exoskeleton Einstein. And so I finally, this thing curls up, jumps around, and jumps in front of me and starts coming at me. And it starts coming at me, and I'm standing on my ground. And then it as it gets close, all of a sudden a lady's face comes out, a lady. And she looked pretty good. She was pretty cute. And I'm like, I ain't having none of that. And then she said something. One of her legs grabbed me or something, grabbed my shoulder, and I started punching her in the face. Her face went away, and then it started grabbing at me, trying to grab at me. And the more I confronted it, the smaller it got. Just to let you know. I don't know what that means. But it's getting smaller and smaller. It's not the size of a house anymore. It's like getting down smaller. And finally, I grabbed one of the legs of the spider, and it was like a piece of the spider, and it was like two-hander, and it's like a hunk of, and it looked like the fuck is that called? A lobster leg or a crab leg. And it had little dots on it, and the color was black and faded into like a white. Anyway, and I could see where the leg was bending. and there was like meat in there, and I go, lobster legs. Right? And I thought, lobster legs. And so I grabbed it like this, and this leg was going through here. I grabbed the leg, and I grabbed where it bent here, the knuckle of the lobster leg, and I went crack, and I cracked it, and I cracked it. And then I bit into it like a lobster leg, like I was eating a lobster, and I realized I was hungry, right? At the same time, I'm thinking lobster, right? And finally, as I bit into it, it started bleeding on my arm. There's blood on my arm. And I started spitting if I got any in my mouth. I didn't know. And this thing's squirreling and freaking out, and fucking legs are everywhere. And I bit into it, blood on me. I started spitting out. And then finally, I'm wrestling with it, and I gave it a couple more punches and pushed it away. And it started walking away, limping, walking away. And then it turned around and it came back at me. And then as it got close, I grabbed another leg, and it was smaller. And this time I wrapped my arm around its head and its leg, and I was getting ready to, do one of these, but as long as I didn't keep its choppers from my throat and my face, I was all right. And so I was doing that. It's wrestling, it's squirreling, and I'm like, getting ready to break this other leg on it. And then I woke up. And I woke up. Jesus was there. My innocence is screaming. Jesus comes running, and all I know is the one rule Jesus says, give it to Jesus. So I gave it to Jesus. I gave it, here, take it. And I dropped it on the ground, and it started running away. Jesus screams on his fucking red alert to the community. Everybody comes running. They're all freaking out. And there's a spider walking around Jesus' house. A big ass fucking black widow spider. Jesus like, he grabs it. One of them grab it and take it away. Then Jesus comes up to me. He goes, what are you doing? And he goes, we've been contaminated. Richie contaminated us. I think that's the word they use, contaminated us. No, not contaminated. Compromised. Richie compromised us. And Julie's all worried. What's that? What's going to happen to Rich? Because she don't want to get me in trouble, right? And anyway, Richie compromised us. I go, no, I didn't. You told me to give it to Jesus. So I did. And that's all I know in my head. Give it to Jesus. I got bad things going on inside me. Energy, problems. Give it to Jesus. So I did. And he goes, okay. Richie did the right thing, but he didn't. But he doesn't know. And I'm like, well, I gave it to you. And he goes, yeah, I know. And he goes, okay, explain to me what happened in the dream, right? And so I go, well, I just told him what I told you. And he goes, no, what you did wrong was you brought it here into Christ's consciousness, into, let's say, St. Lucia. But it wasn't. I was not in St. Lucia. I was outside of St. Lucia in another town, or Christ's house, staying with him as he watched over me. And he goes, what you did wrong, but you didn't know, so you're okay. And even if you did know, you're still okay. But he goes, you shouldn't bring back things from the dream. And I go, is that what I did when I gave it to you? And he goes, yeah. He goes, you grabbed a hold of it in the dream, and it was 100% real. But it ain't going to harm us any. He goes, it ain't going to harm us any. But if you bring it back from a dream, and you're fighting a spider in a dream, and you bring it back, and you give it to Jesus, well, the damn thing's now in the illusion, the soul illusion, okay? Where I'm living in St. Lucian in Christ's house. And he goes, if you can have hallucinations. And he goes, what do you mean? He goes, well, people that bring things back from their dreams, they'll wake up, they'll forget about the dream, they'll be walking around the house, and there'll be a big fucking spider run across the floor. And he goes, that's an hallucination. But it's not a hallucination. You brought it back from the dream world. And I'm like, That's real? He goes, yeah, that's fucking real. And he goes, and I'm like, holy shit. I didn't even think of that, you know? Yeah, you learn something new every day. So anyway, that kind of freaked me out. Then I was explaining the dream, and this is the important part. I gotta be very careful. What happened last night when they damn near killed me? And Christ is saying, well, even in a dream, bad things can come and get you, right? And I go, I know. And he goes, that's why we're worried, because you took a bad thing and brought it into Jesus, and we got to find out what the thing was. So tell me your dream. So I told him the dream exactly as it happened. And and as the spider was coming at me at the past the construction site, I had my first encounter with it, and then it started coming back at me. It spit a web at me. And as soon as I said that, and the web covered my head, it was like just a wad of spider web, and it went and stuck to my face. And then I couldn't see for a few minutes. Well, not even a minute. It was like 2 seconds I couldn't see. And then I got rid of it. Just then, Christ's wife said something. That sounds like blah, blah, blah. I can't say. And I'm sorry, I want to say this, but I'm not allowed to talk about it. Because I don't want to die. I almost fucking died last night. They still don't. They might. I don't know. I tried to ask them. They didn't say nothing. About last night's dream. And that dream last night was crazy. But anyway, for people who know, and there are people who know what I'm talking about, I can't talk about it for that reason. And it's real stuff, man. It's real. It's fucking real. Jesus Christ, you can't believe it. So anyway, I can't talk about it. But, so I'm also just, there's nothing else I can talk about. So the two things in the dream I did wrong. One was confront it, fight it. I should have just loved it. But how do you love a spider, right? I'm still a fucking warrior guy in the dream. It pisses me off. I'm gonna fucking fight it. And I'm not too bad at fighting. I'm not like Jesus Christ in the moment knows all things, you know. I'm in my dream, ego, fear, and that's where I am. It's hard to bring all the knowledge right to your head at the moment you want it. You just gotta react, and that's what I was doing. So it's in a dream. But in the dream told me a lot about me going back to my past. And I wanted to go home to my past, the home that was in my past. But the spider blocked the way. So it was like, stop going to the past and move to the future. I don't know if that's right or not. Christ knows. I can't hear him now. But, and the big hole in the ground blocking my path. Then the spider came and was blocking my path. And it was my home in the past when I was a little kid. But I loved the home. It was my home, man. It was where I was safe. Except from the aliens. They came over every fucking night and do what they want. But it was a good place to be. A lot of good stuff happened there. Anyway, they were worried about if it was something else, like from last night, that was attacking me now. But I think it was just a dream. But what was cool was I brought it from the dream, fighting it, and brought it to Christ's house and gave it to him. He's fucking freaking. He's like, my fucking wife is running, kids are running, everybody's fucking running around. Holy shit. And then he told me you could have hallucinations by bringing it back into the thing, into the illusion. I don't know. There's so many illusions, man. There's like the dream illusion. Then there's the opposite side of the dream, which is the soul illusion. And then there's physical reality, soul, and reality is an illusion. So there's all these different, whole bunch of little veils where I traverse through. Dream veil, reality, spirit, soul, veils, illusions. Hard to navigate. You don't even know you're doing. I know where I am when I'm doing it. Well, not when I'm doing it. Forget it. It's too hard to figure out. Anyway, when you're in the moment playing around, you're just there. You're doing it. When you come back, you're like, you get where you were, in which level. And then Grace takes you way up high to like 7 or 8, sticks you there, and it's way up there. Crazy stuff. Anyway, I just thought I'd make that video. I'll probably forget this in a couple of days, and I'll never get to tell you what I want to say, but Grace won't let me say, and I gotta do what he says. Because he told me not to say anything. I asked him specifically, laying in bed, and he said, nope, you don't put it on there because you're going to piss them off. And they'll come after you even harder. And I'm like, fuck. Alright, so I won't. That's it. Because if it's like someone like me using his conjurings to attack me, like in a physical, if it's a physical person using his little rodents to come and get me, then he needs to know. And by all these things that come afterward, he learns what's going on. I don't know. Too much for me to think about. But I don't want to fuck up his scam by giving away what he thinks, right? And if I go push the wrong buttons to the people out there, you guys that like doing this shit, if I go pushing your buttons, then I screw it up for Christ. So I know Christ has got an ambush set up and all these things ready to get your ass. I don't want to go screwing it up. So you ain't going to get the information. As much as I want to say it, maybe someday I'll make a video if I remember even this, because tomorrow something else is going to happen. I'm going to totally forget about this. And that's why I make videos as they happen, because I forget about them. Like every fucking night I have some crazy shit going on. Not every night. Sometimes the videos I don't make are good nights. So I go a week without making a video, and I'm just happy man walking around doing my thing. I don't know. Alright guys, I thought that was a pretty cool dream, that you can take things from your dream and put them into Christ's illusion with Christ in the spirit world. Pretty wild, eh? I never knew that. But you know, I've done that 100 times. It's just, I didn't know it. I didn't know I was doing it. Fuck. But now I know it. But I knew it, but I didn't know how to word it. I didn't actually see a step-by-step process until I had that spider and I brought it to Christ. I said, here, Christ, take it. I took it out of my dream world, the dream plane, where you can create shit. Like in the dream, you just think about it and you create it. It's reflections and everything. And you create in the dream world. Well, you start fighting it becomes more and more real, more and more real, more and more real. Pretty soon it's a real fucking spider with a face talking to you. And you go, Jesus, take it here. You just created a fucking demon for Jesus to deal with. Jesus don't care. He can fucking conquer anything in the world. But it was funny for me anyway. Alright guys, I'll talk to you later.